If something like yesterday, what happened in Bangladesh happens in Bharat, what will or should be the action plan of the common man and the government? Also touch upon how illegal immigrant situation should could go in Bharat now. So look, how did the coup happen in Bangladesh? The coup happened not because of the students. Okay, understand this. There were student protests, blah blah blah. Students running riot on the streets, blah blah blah. All that stuff. Is that why Sheikh Hasina left? Is that why she had to flee the country? Absolutely not. Understand what power is. She had to flee because the army gave her 45 minutes. Who holds the real power? What is power at the end of the day? Like Mao Zedong said, political power flows out of the barrel of a gun. Power is the threat of violence. Power is the capacity to unleash violence on demand. Various kinds and various forms of violence, various levels of violence. That is what power is. Power is on the streets, power is military. So the students, look, as long as the police obeyed Sheikh Hasina, as long as the army was in line with Sheikh Hasina, there's nothing those students could have done. It's because the army took the side of the students, supposedly the students, that she had to leave. Understand that. So the army betrayed the nation. The army sold out the nation to the Americans. That's what happened. That guy who gave a press conference, Waker or something or the other, whatever his name is. I can't pronounce those names. So that's what happened. Now, so the way to sell this coup to the world is by creating this narrative of student protests, that these young innocent idealistic students are fed up with the dictatorial regime of Sheikh Hasina, and they have gone out on the streets and they have been facing the brunt of the security forces, and eventually the military had a change of heart and then they supported the students. So the military are the good guys, the students are the good guys, and Sheikh Hasina is the bad guy. That is how the narrative is spun. But what did the coup is the army taking the side of the US. That is what sealed the coup. That is the coup itself. The army switching allegiance from their country to the US. That's the coup. Now, can something like that happen in Bharat? Well, in Bharat, that can't happen. But if you see, I will not go into the theory of what's behind a coup. If you look at my channel a couple of years back, there's a podcast with a gentleman called Dr. Edward Luttwak. He's one of the foremost geostrategists in the world. He has advised governments and prime ministers and presidents. Okay, and he is the author of a book called Coup d'etat, a practical handbook. And it is said that in a coup, in a failed coup somewhere in Africa, the general who was trying to carry out the coup, he was shot, and then when they found his body inside his coat, there was this book. So that's actually kind of a manual of how to carry out a coup. And if you study that book, it will become clear why a coup d'etat cannot happen in India. A military coup can't happen in India. There are a set of conditions that have to be satisfied for a nation to be open to such coups. China, a coup can happen in China. The US, a coup can happen in the US. But in India, a coup can't happen for a variety of reasons. Read the book if you're interested. So a military coup can't happen in India. Okay. But what can happen in India is that the Americans can unleash student protests, farmer protests, various kinds of protests. They are already indulging in what they call subnational diplomacy in India, allegedly, which means that they're allegedly reaching out through their diplomats and proxies to various state governments in India, allegedly state governments that allegedly don't have allegedly good relations with the center. Okay, that's what people are alleging. So the Americans are trying to create further divisions. The United States is an empire. It is a continuation of the British Empire, and they have the same tried and tested policy of divide and rule, divide and conquer. So create divisions within a nation, make the people fight each other, and then make hay. So that's what the Americans are already doing. The entire Indian academic system is corrupt, rotten to the core, and the Modi government has done nothing to change that in the past 10 years. Yeah, very disappointingly. So the the left, the leftists who are anti-Indian, have a stranglehold on the academic system. All the most of the academic staff, professors, lecturers, readers, etc., especially in humanities departments, they are strongly leftist, and they are, you will find if you go deep inside, that all the literature they produce is anti-India, anti-Hindu, Hinduphobic, all that. And that is very much in line with the agenda of various Western powers. So these professors who write anti-India stuff and produce anti-India research in large quantities, they are given all kinds of wonderful goodies from the West, by the West. They are invited to give lectures. They are treated like VIPs, and they are given all kinds of honors. And when you are treated so well, why would you not want that to continue? So the entire academic system, especially in the humanities, is more or less, not entire, but most of it is anti-India, and you could say the West controls it. So if you want to create chaos in India, all you have to do is activate your agents, your assets in various academic, um, you know, university, college departments. There's a whole network, and just unleash student protests. Students are idealistic. Students are clueless. When I was 20, I was clueless about the world. I had read a lot, but I had no idea how the world really works. I was absolutely clueless. Okay, I've been there. So I'm not saying the students who go out and protest are bad people. No, they are good kids. They're idealistic. They genuinely believe they're doing something good for their nation. And that idealism and that naivete is preyed upon by their teachers, their professors. They are the ones who need to be looked at. So it's extremely easy to unleash hordes of students on the streets, and they are filled with this righteous anger, the students. And in India, in the Indian academic system, you essentially worship people in authority, people in positions of power and authority, right? Whatever they say, you believe it wholeheartedly. You never question them. That's what you're brainwashed into being like. So your programming kicks in, whatever they say, you go and do it. And that's how you can unleash student protests all across India. That is going to happen. I'm going out on a limb today, right now. I'm saying this. It's gonna happen in the next 2-3 years. Student protests in various parts of India. We will also have the farmer protests reactivated and various other kinds of protests. So it will not be a coup d'etat, but it's gonna be the Americans will try and destabilize the nation, step by step by step, by activating various assets and networks of assets that they have. See, what are the Americans concerned about when it comes to India? India is projected to be the next big thing economically. Okay, if you look at the economic projections for India, on a 2035, 2040 horizon, India will be a very powerful, very large economy. Okay, India by 2050 could very much surpass China, and that is something that the Americans are very concerned about because, uh, okay, someone's saying there is lag. Is there a lag in the video? Is there a lag? I'm seeing comments that says that there is a lag in the video or audio. Okay, it's better now. It's better now. Okay. So the point is, the Americans are concerned that the Americans have already made a huge mistake when it comes to China. They aided and abetted and midwifed the rise of China, and they want to make sure they don't let this happen again when it comes to India. So they see India as a long-term adversary, especially a nation that refuses to be a Western stooge, a nation that has an independent foreign policy, a nation that still has an ancient polytheistic culture. How dare we have that? So they will do their best to destroy India. Right now, they're containing India, they're encircling India. Eventually, they want to destroy India, balkanize India. They want to balkanize India. So you can expect various kinds of destabilization activities to happen in India over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay. And the illegal immigrants will be very much part of it. because these illegal immigrants, when we talk about illegal immigrants, who are we talking about? We're talking about Bangladeshis between 50 to 100 million. We're talking about Rohingyas who have been coming in since the 2010s. And we're talking about maybe a million cookies who have come in the past whatever period of time. So these people have no allegiance to India. They have no affiliation or uh, anything to do with Indian culture, and they can be activated. So when we want to destabilize a nation and you have 100 million foreign infiltrators in the nation, illegals, then yeah, you can activate those assets to destabilize the nation. So what should be the action plan of the government? What should be the action plan of the government? Once again, there's a lag. That's interesting. We don't have lags otherwise, don't do we? Okay, I hear there's a lag. Come on, internet connection. So, look, okay, I think the lag is gone now. So the point is these illegals can be activated and used to destabilize the nation. Various assets can be used. So what can the government do? The government will have to crack down on illegal infiltration. I think the government of India should now repatriate or take steps to repatriate Bangladeshis out of India, which could cause possibly a lot of chaos. So you either allow the Bangladeshis to stay in India and become part of the population and become a long-term demographic threat, or you bite the bullet and do what is unpleasant, identify them, round them up, and throw them out of India. Maybe we should send them to the US border. Hmm? Maybe we should arrange for the Bangladeshis, illegal Bangladeshis in India, to be sent to the US. The US can absorb them, 100 million Bangladeshis, but they won't do that. So we should repatriate them to Bangladesh. That's what I would say. And somebody's talking about the chicken neck. Yeah, we have to be very careful about the chicken neck, the Siliguri corridor, which is, well, Bangladesh is very much present there. Uh, so the government of India is going to have its hands full. There's going to be more attempts, ongoing attempts over the next few years to destabilize India, to make India look weak, to hamper the Indian economic growth, to hamper the prospect of foreign investment in India, to worsen India's internal security situation, and much more. So the government of India, the intelligence agencies need to be on top of this, and they need to find ways to prevent this from happening. Or if it is happening, then they need to be able to clamp down on that very fast. The common man, what can the common man do? Nothing.